למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום.
The Torah is a tree of life to them that hold it fast, and all of its supporters are happy. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. It's Chaim.
It's Chaim היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה
Shalom. I have a guest with me today, Garrett Moon, who's going to become a bar mitzvah this Shabbat here at Temple Bethel in Hollywood, Florida. And Garrett has been working very hard preparing his reading of the Torah and the Haftorah, and he's also been studying and writing a Devar Torah, a speech about his Torah portion, and I think he's got some really good ideas. Garrett, Mazal Tov on becoming a bar mitzvah.
Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom, TV world.
What's the name of your Torah portion?
Ki Tissa.
Ki Tissa. And what's it about?
Ki Tissa is mainly about Bezalel the artist, the golden calf, and Shabbat.
It's interesting that that the Torah would bring those three subjects together. Bezalel, I guess, would be about art. He was the great artist in the Bible. Shabbat, which is our day of rest, a very central commandment in Judaism, and the golden calf. How do you kind of bring those things together in your Devar Torah?
Art is honestly what brings them together. Bezalel made the art. Shabbat was observed in houses and synagogues and the tabernacle, which is also art, and the golden calf, which was bad, but it was still art.
It was still art. I have a sense here that art can be used in a good way, in a divine way, to maybe embellish our worship, but art can also lead us away from God.
Yes.
It depends on how it's used. Now, you say that the golden calf was an expression of art that was a negative expression of art. How was that? I mean, why is that?
Well, because art is art unless you make it you make art what it is. For instance, that the golden calf was art, but it was bad because you worshipped it.
I see. When we embellish our synagogues and we bring artistry into our religious life, it can be to embellish our worship, but we shouldn't worship it.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Very good. I like that very much. I think that's a very instructive view. Art, we Jews like art, but we don't worship art.
Yes.
Why do you think that the Jewish people prevailed upon Aaron, Moses' brother, to make this golden calf in the first place?
Well, I think that it was a combination of things. One being fear of being left in a desert with no one to guide them except the brother of their leader, and their leader is somewhere in a mountain talking to their God. And also, they were pretty much like a scared child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'd been slaves. Recently, they'd been slaves.
Yes.
And they didn't have a lot of confidence in themselves.
Oh, no.
But what's remarkable is that after God had performed all of those miracles, the 10 plagues and the splitting of the Red Sea and the giving of the 10 Commandments, that that they didn't have confidence in God, but they certainly were very frightened. Do you think Moses may have lingered a little bit too long up on the mountain, and that maybe he really should have come down a few days earlier to be with the people?
No, honestly not, because I think that as soon as they finished, he rushed down to show what the fruits of his labor, so to speak. And when he got down, when he saw what he was seeing, the Jewish people worshiping the golden calf, he had a angered rage and basically broke the 10 Commandments against the rock.
I see. What about Aaron? What do you think about Aaron? He sort of caved in, didn't he, to the people when they demanded to make this idol?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they just went up to him and said, "Bring us a golden calf," and he said yes. I think that it was over many days that they kept saying, "Build us something to worship, build us something to worship," and then he tried to make the best leadership decision for what the people wanted, most likely, and then he ended up telling them to take off their golden jewelry, and then he made a golden calf.
Very interesting. Well, I know your Devar Torah is really very interesting. I know you've given it a lot of thought, and you are going to deliver it in a most interesting way this Shabbat. Well, once again, Mazal Tov on becoming a bar mitzvah, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
וצומחיה מאושר תירא